So you know how last week when I said I wish we didn't get any more Nagi chapters for a while? Yeah, we kind of got another Nagi chapter. This is a good Nagi chapter though. I ain't lying. This is a good Nagi chapter. So it starts with 306 left off, and the big bag, ugly, disgusting, balding manager Barasuda pulled up. And then Nagi's just questioning who this dude is. He doesn't even know who he is. Ego did not mention you at all. You have no mention. Like, you're buns. You're straight trash. You don't know nothing about soccer. And while Barasuda's yapping, Nagi knows exactly what this is. He knows something's ill about this dude. Something's always ill about this dude. And then he's talking about, what do you want from me? Barasuda responds, wouldn't you like to take Ego down a peg? Nagi gives him the side eye like, what's he talking about? Is he cooking? Is he cooking, chat? He's not cooking. I'm just gonna let y'all know right now he's not cooking. And then Barasuda just keeps on yapping. You're a very talented player. There's no mistaking that. And yet you were thrown out of Blue Lock and now you're here, desperate. You ever consider these are people out there? There are people out there who disagree with Ego's decision, like me, for example. Don't mind the cat. Nagi surprisingly has never heard of anyone who's went against Ego's mentality, which I guess makes sense. He wasn't in the same room when Kira got kicked out. Also, where is on Kira by the end of this? Cause yeah, I've been hearing whispers of Kira coming back. And then Barcelona keeps going. The roster for the U20 World Cup must be the bare minimum of 23, but the maximum a team can register is 26. Of course, how many players a team registers is up for each team decision. But Ego and I made a deal beforehand. I would give him ridiculous budget needed. I would give him the ridiculous budget needed for Blue Lot TV, and he would give me 3 spots on the roster to fill as I please. So yeah, that's basically the back door. That's basically the cop out. You know what I'm saying? I don't say cop out in a bad way. I just say cop out as referring to, you know, Barasuda and, you know, and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know how I feel about this yet. It might be cool. It might be cool. I don't know. And then Barasuda keeps going. In other words, in addition to the 23 players Ego selected, the Japanese team for the U20 World Cup will also include the Barasuda 3 chosen by me. That was our secret deal. I ain't gonna lie. Bro's trying to aura farm with that name, bro. You're not Barasuda 3 is so buns. That shit is so trash. I'm never calling it that again. I'm not gonna lie. I'm never calling it that again. It was so garbage. And then this freaking, like, bro, no camera angle of this dude looks good. I'm being so honest. No camera angle of this guy looks good, bro. This guy looks trash at every single camera angle, bro. And then he keeps going, how about it, Seishiro Nagi? Will you take the devil's back door to join the team? See, even the way he said that is grimy. Even the way he said that, because all we know he wants money. That's all he wants is money. All he wants is money. That's all this dude wants. So we know that this dude is grimy. It's simple. It's simple. And him calling it the devil's back door. Yeah, alright. Yeah, alright. And Barasuda keeps going. There's conditions, of course. Like, okay. Number 1, you must pass the selection test I devised. Number 2, if you do pass and become a member of the trio, you must give me control over your future soccer career and contracts. In short, The remainder of your life playing soccer will be mine until the day you die. And lastly, number 3, once you return to Blue Lock, you must play soccer solely to prove Ego wrong. You'll drive him to an early retirement, and I'll take over as the new boss of Blue Lock. Well, Seishiro Nagi, will you join me and seize Blue Lock by force? Now, to quickly go back over these conditions. 1, what do you know about soccer? What are you talking about selection? What do you know about soccer? All you know is money. All you know is money. What do you know about soccer? Secondly, the second topic where with Nagi giving him control of his future soccer contracts, that happens a lot in real life when it comes to like actual sports. Like that happens a lot in real life. So I'm glad it was brought up in the story because it's a terrible thing to do, because if Nagi were to accept this, Nagi would be losing out on millions and millions of dollars. So I'm glad they actually brought this up, because this definitely is a real thing that happens to a lot of people in the sports industry. This happens to a lot of people. And thirdly, once you return to Blue Lock, you must solely play soccer to prove Ego wrong. Yeah, but Ego's not even gonna. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Anyway. Also, why does this dude get an octopus aura, bro? Like, the octopus aura actually looks kind of cool. I don't get why this grimy loser gets it. Then Nagi's thinking about it. I can return to Blue Lock. I'll get to face all of them one more time. I'm showing Isagi, Ren, and Ryo. I didn't know Nagi really had a connection to Ren like that, but you know what I'm saying, pop off. And this moment really gave me mad respect for Nagi. I got mad respect for Nagi for this. I'm just gonna read it through. I'm not really gonna pause until I get to the one line. But no, I can't. Ego isn't wrong. But if you think he's not wrong, then what are you doing here? Well, you're dripping in unfulfilled desire, aren't you? Don't you want to get inside and keep playing soccer? Ego is the man who gave Blue Lock to us. If not for Blue Lock, Isagi and Ryo wouldn't have been there to fire me up. How can you say that he's using you as a stepping stone to fulfill his desires? Ego is nothing but a heartless monster with a personality. That's all I'm saying. Maybe, but because of Ego, that place was always burning hot. I refuse to betray Blue Lock. Mad props to Nagi for that. Mad props to Nagi, bro. Even though he wants to get back in, even though he wants to keep playing, he's still not going to betray Blue Lock, because that's the reason he got fired up in the first place. You know what I'm saying? He's talking about if I want to get back into Blue Lock, it's got to be on Ego's terms, not yours. I respect that heavy. Which, if this is the case, Nagi's never getting back in Blue Lock. But at least, this dude respects Blue Lock for what it is. This is what got him fired up in the first place. This is what made him feel that desire in the first place. Fire. Absolutely fire. And then we got Barutsuda kicking water on a 17-year-old kid. Like, you're pushing 60. Like, you're weird, bro. You're weird. Then here you go. Sure, okay. You can make that stand if you want. Protect your fragile heart. And then live the rest of your life thinking about how great you used to be until you die. You won't give up your pride till you're 6 feet under. You're nothing but a pride chicken. Like, okay, bro. You're kicking water on a 17-year-old kid. You're weird. And then we got freaking Atoshi Sai calling this freaking manager big bad ugly lose. My fault. My fault. And then we got Sai calling Basuda, talking about the groupings of the U20 World Cup. Blah, blah, blah. Jeez, I can't speak. The groupings for the U20 World Cup Group League. Jesus Christ. They were just announced. Japan is in Group A with Nigeria, England, and France. We're fighting France early. We're going to lose. Like, we're fighting France early. We're gonna lose, man. That's... I do have hope for us, though. I have hope for us. Because of what Barasuda says. Barasuda is stressing about Blue Lock fighting France early. Really, that soon? That's crazy. They're tough. And only the top 2 teams will advance to the championship tournament. Now, when they say that, I do feel like Blue Lock is going to pass, but I feel like it's going to be very narrow. Blue Lock's 100% losing to France. They're not going to get around freaking Loki. Loki was on the court during the Neo Eagles League for 3 minutes. He was only allowed to be on there for 3 minutes. During the full 90 minutes of a soccer game, this dude's not being stopped. And it's clear that this dude is hiding more than just his speed. That's clear. That's clear. This dude is hiding more than just his speed. This dude was barely trying to. And none of the masters were actually trying during the Neo Eagles League. So, yeah. But when it comes to the teams, I feel like Nigeria is going to be the sacrificial lamb, sadly, that is going to lose to Blue Lock by, like, kind of a little bit, but kind of not a lot. And then England, we know who's on England. We got Chris Prince, Augie, and a bunch of the other Manshine members. So, if that's the case, I feel like Blue Lock is going to win, but very narrowly. They're gonna win by like a tiny smidge, by like a tiny little smidge. And then France, they're losing. So that would put them in the top 2, which means that they would be able to advance. But still, I don't know how I feel about fighting France this early. I don't know. And then Basuda keeps going. In that case, I'll use one of my slots on the trio for you, Sai. Forget about that selection test I mentioned. This is a Japanese soccer. This is for the Japanese soccer branding getting rich. Yeah, all right, bro. If I get you on that team, you'll make sure they advance out of the group league, won't you? And then Sai just completely shutting this dude down about that. I won't play in the group league. The only reason I want in on the U20 World Cup is to go against Spain. Which, this just confirms him and Bunny have some kind of rivalry. You know what I'm saying? This just confirms him and Bunny are just ops to the ends. And then this dude's just leaving Nagi stranded in the rain. Like, people hate it. The people hating on Henry better also be hating on freaking Basuda for leaving a 17-year-old in the rain. This dude did worse to us. This dude did worse than Henry did. This dude tried to make Nagi sign his life away to him. This dude kicked water on a 17-year-old child, insulted a 17-year-old, and is now insulted a 17-year-old child, and it's now leaving a 17-year-old child in the rain. Like, I better hear the same type of stuff being talked about when it comes to Basuda that they were talking about with Henry. Like, hello? You're just talking about, okay, fine, then I'll leave you a slot, I'll leave a slot open so you can join the team later. You'll join once Japan is in the knockout brackets, right? And the side says, sure, as long as I don't change my mind. Of course, first they'll have to win without me, or it won't matter anyway. We know Japan don't. We know Sai don't like Japan, so you know what I'm saying. You would need ambition so strong, even Blue Lock would be nothing but nothing but a springboard. Only those with an ego as big as that can win. And then on that panel just shows Nagi in the rain. I do feel like Nagi is going to accept eventually, but you know what? No, I don't know. I don't know if Nagi's gonna accept. Because he doesn't think Ego did anything wrong. Speaking on that, actually, Kira. Y'all remember Kira? I barely remember Kira. But he was the dude, he was the first person that got kicked out of Blue Lock. Now, this dude was called the Crown Jewel of Japan, right? And this was the only person, this is one of the only people to go against Ego's philosophy in Blue Lock. Now, people have called Kira trash, garbage, saying he or not prime Igaguri, saying that current Igaguri is better than him, acting like he hasn't acting like he hasn't been training and still playing soccer somewhere. Like he has to still be playing soccer. There's no way he just gave up on soccer that easily. Like people be calling Kira trash, but there's no way he just quit on soccer just because he got kicked out of Blue Lock. There's no way. I refuse to believe it. This dude was called the Crown Jewel of Japan, and you think he would just give up on soccer that easily? No. Kira, I've always thought Kira was gonna come back, but I didn't know how, right? Maybe Kira could actually go crazy during the U20 World Cup. Who knows? Who knows? Maybe Kira could actually be going crazy. But I think that's enough of me yapping. I'm saying this was a pretty good chapter. This was a pretty good chapter. I'm not gonna lie. This is a pretty good chapter. I hope you all enjoyed this one. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye and stay safe. All that, all the YouTube stuff that I say. Yeah.